Ayersville and Fairview's girls basketball teams have had one thing in common over the last 3 seasons. The road to the Green Meadows Conference Championship goes through them. Tonight, no exception. At 20-1 overall, 6-0 in the GMC, the 8th-ranked Pilots formula is simple. Win, and it's all theirs. The Apaches sit at 15-6, 5-1 respectively. On the road tonight, they want to play the role of spoiler on the Pilots' home floor and grab a share of the GMC title. Ayersville has no intention of sharing. They want it all for themselves. We are 13 minutes and 45 seconds away from tipping off what promises to be the game of the season. We welcome you aboard DCTV Sports. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller as the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show is now on the air. Scoop, this place is filling in nicely. You know it's going to be a big game, or expected to be a big game, when they open up the auxiliary gym and bring out the extra bleachers. And by the time this thing tips off, my guess is there won't be an empty seat in the house.
Well, there shouldn't be. You mentioned it. The road to the GMC runs right here. No different tonight. Fairview trying to be that spoiler, trying to be winners of 3 of the last 4 GMC titles. Ayersville's already clinched 2 of the last 4, but as you mentioned, you know this Ayersville team, they're not interested in sharing it. They want to run the table, something they haven't done in the GMC since the 2015-2016 season.
Ayersville, as we mentioned, ranked number 8 in the states in Division 4. Pilots at 20-1 overall, 6-0 in the Green Meadows Conference. They're on a 7-game win streak, and Scoop, they win by locking you down. They have held 6 of their last 7 opponents to under 30 points. That's unheard of.
It's just incredible. On the season, they're giving up just 28.6 points per contest. And it's not because they're out there holding the ball. This is an Ayersville team that will love to get in a transition game with you, but they are so locked in defensively. They've got all the pieces. They can take you off the dribble. They've got length inside. They rebound so well. Well, this is a real good Ayersville unit. Fairview's going to have to play exceptionally well to get the upset here tonight.
Well, you mentioned all the things that the Pilots do defensively, but one, and that's turn that defense into offense. How many games have we called this season where a loose pass or just overplaying and jumping a route leads to an easy breakaway layup? They'll turn defense into offense.
Well, no question about it. As gifted as they are offensively, I love it when their best offense is their defense, and we've seen that multiple times. They can force teams to turn over, and they turn those into points with the athletes, the way they run the floor. And again, they've been a tough out all season. As you mentioned, 7 straight wins since that only loss at Kalida back on January 23rd. Meanwhile, Fairview comes in on a 6-game winning streak as well. So they're playing their best basketball at the right time, just like the Pilots.
They did get a push a couple weeks ago at Wayne Trace. As a matter of fact, that game went into overtime, but they hung on 54-50. Their last game, they dispatched Eden 62-45. We're going to break down both sets of rosters, the go-to players, and what their specialties are when we come back. The Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show continues. You're watching DCTV Sports. Back live, you are looking at the Hangar, Ayersville High School Gymnasium. Fantastic nickname for a place. This is a sweet little gymnasium. It seats, I was told, just under 1,600, if I'm not mistaken. I was told that they can expand it a little bit more, but I'm guessing there won't be an empty seat in the house in about another 9 minutes and 25 seconds as first place in the GMC. The 8th-ranked Pilots at 6-0, welcoming second place Fairview, the Apaches, at 5-1. Let's break them down, and let's start with the visitors, not the least of which just miss everything. Kelly Kreitz. She stands in at 6 foot. She's got some handles. She can run any position on the floor. Don't be surprised to even see her bring the ball up against pressure. She averages nearly 20 points per ball game and just a shade under 10 rebounds. Scoop, you start there because she is one tough cover.
Well, she really is. Not only do you talk about how gifted athlete she is, but she has that X factor. She's a competitor. She knows how to win. You know, she was the Crescent News and GMC volleyball player of the year back in the fall that led the Apaches to a 24-3 record. So she's all about competing out there. And one of the amazing stats, I think, about Kelly Kreitz, Brent, on the season, she shot 180 free throws. And that's getting it done. That's getting there 10 times a game on some nights, you know. So she's been a tough guard, so athletic. She can take you off the dribble. She can shoot the three. She can take it up strong inside. She's got all the components there. Certainly going to be in the conversation for GMC Player of the Year this year.
While we're at it, let's just go ahead and break them all down. These are your Baker Schindler Company starting lineups. Again, our starting lineups courtesy of Baker Schindler Company. We gave you Kelly Kreitz. Let's go ahead and round out the next 4. Technically, she'll be listed as a point guard, although everybody does a little bit of everything for this Apache squad. But I was told to put number 12, Bethany Singer, who is also the team mom, down as the starting point guard, the 5'4" senior. Again, Singer comes into this evening's contest averaging about 3 points per contest. And again, her job is to just kind of stir the drink. At the off guard, it is Aubrey Hammer, again standing in at 5'6", just a sophomore. Aubrey Hammer, the second leading scorer on this roster, just under 11 points per ball game. She is the team's leading free throw shooter at nearly 79%. She also pulls down just over 3 rebounds per contest. Haley Hammer. Yeah, you're right. They're sisters. 5'7" and a senior. Haley averages just under 7 points and 3 rebounds per contest. Kayla Mavis will get the starting nod at an off guard. Mavis, kind of the team leader. I asked the girls, I said, if the coaches weren't around, who would step up and become coach for a day and listen? People would listen to. They said Kayla Mavis. The only person that said, I'm not sure about that, is Kayla Mavis herself, which leads me to believe her teammates are right, because that's humility right there. Kayla Mavis stands in at 5'6" and a junior. Mavis averaging 5 points and nearly 5 rebounds per contest. Those are your starting 5. Let's take a look for the hosts, the Ayersville Pilots. We've called them several times this season, and no surprises again here tonight. Getting the starting nod at the point, it will be Belle McGuire. McGuire standing in at 5'6" and a senior. McGuire averages just under 4 points per contest, but she dishes out the ball. 2 assists, and she plays D. She's the best on-ball defender on the roster. She averages nearly 2 steals per contest. At the up guard, Kirsten Mannon. Mannon standing in at 5'8". Kirsten Mannon is a senior. Mannon averaging 7 points and nearly 3 rebounds per contest. At the swing, by far and away the fastest player on this roster. She's basically a one-woman press break. Kendra Waldron, a 5'6" sophomore. Waldron averaging 8 points, nearly 3 boards, and nearly 2 assists per ball game. Your front court as follows: the team's leading scorer, Allie Schindler. Schindler at 5'10" and a senior. Schindler averaging 13.5 points, 5.5 boards, and nearly 3 assists per contest. And in the middle, Miss America herself, Taylor Kraft. Kraft stands in at 6'1" and a senior. She averages just under 7 points, 12 boards, but Scoop, she throws a block party every single night. She averages just under 5 rejections per contest.
That's incredible, and she changes many more shots than that, so she's that rim protector. If Ayersville happens to get beat on the perimeter, no worries. You have Taylor Kraft inside to protect the paint.
Those are your starting lineups, courtesy of Baker Schindler Company. What we're going to do is take another quick timeout. Back with more of the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show right after this. You're watching DCTV Sports. There you get a good look at the host Ayersville Pilots as they are finishing their warm-ups. Still about 3 minutes and 41 seconds before we tip this one off. The 8th-ranked Pilots, 20-1 overall, 6-0 in the Green Meadows Conference, taking on the second-place Apaches at 15-6 and 5-1, respectively. I do want to remind people as these playoff brackets have been set. They've been set for almost 2 weeks now. And Ayersville, no surprise, will host. I was somewhat surprised when I saw them play the opening round. I went to the practice the next day and asked Coach Nicely, I said, that's got to be a misprint, right? He goes, no. He goes, was it 3 years ago maybe? They were the higher seed. They took the bye, and they came out rusty. He said it was way too long of a time off. He goes, our team lost focus. We as coaches probably overcoached a little bit, tried to do a few extra things. And he goes, if we should win game 2, we should certainly win game 1. So he has elected to play. They will host at least the first 2 rounds as long as they win. Of course, the winner coming through this portion of the bracket will see their sectionals, I believe, correct, go through Defiance. So basically, 2 courts that they're very, very familiar with.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I really love the philosophy there from Coach Nicely. In 13 years that I coached basketball, we had the chance to be to take the bye all 13 years, and we actually only took a bye 1 time, and that's because we were banged up. Other than that, we did not like that long layoff, and it kind of kept us confident. We felt if we were the best team, we'd had to prove it on the court, and I like the mindset that gives your players.
So a situation here, I talked with, again, Coach Russell Zedek. He's in his 6th season at the helm for Fairview. And he said our bracket couldn't have set up much better. It's what we expected. And he goes, all you ask for that very first game and even the first 2 or 3 is, are they winnable? If we play well, can we expect to put on the uniform one more time, survive in advance, basically? And he feels that they've got the opportunity to do that.
I really do. You know, they've kind of been stake-bitten the last couple of years. They had to be in that same district as Ottawa Glandorf. So they've had some really good teams that were kind of one and done. But this is the team I think has got a chance to make a deep run. And so I think he hit the nail on the head. And right now you want to give yourself as much confidence you can to knock off a really good Ayersville team that also has a chance to make a very deep tournament run.
Coming up on the final minute of warm-ups, balls back in the racks, jerseys being shed, getting ready for tip-off. Our officiating crew here this evening, Thomas Donovan II, and Alan Radlinski. You thought I was going to say Thomas Donovan III, didn't you? Not the case.
No, actually, I know these guys too well, so.
How many of them teed you up during your coaching career?
Yeah, I won't answer that on air. Just say they know me.
We'll draw the curtain of charity on this scene right now, to quote Samuel Clemens. Final 30 seconds ticking off the clock. Ayersville lining up on their side of the hangar. And likewise, Fairview, small in numbers but mighty in spirit, doing the same thing as the Ayersville Pep Band has finished their warm-ups. Everybody to their feet. And it's time for the national anthem, brought to you by the Defiance Elks Lodge 147. You see the colors there being unfurled in the corner of the gym. Boy, the crowd has filled in. I see 1, 2, 3, maybe a handful of empty seats on the far side. And good luck getting seats on the general admission section here. The obligatory Ohio High School Athletic Association. Oh, that's right, forgot about this too. Allie Schindler last Saturday at Stryker broke the 1,000 point mark for her career. She is almost blushing down there, guys. If you can get a shot of number 14, she deserves it. What a tremendous player, what a tremendous career for Allie Schindler. And it isn't over yet. Now the obligatory Ohio High School Athletic Association sportsmanship reader. And now everyone rising to their feet. Again, the national anthem, courtesy of the Defiance Elks Lodge 147. Nice job done by the Ayersville Pep Band. Thanks again going out to the Defiance Elks Lodge 147, underwriting the national anthem. We are getting set for the F&M Bank opening tip-off. Eight minutes put up on the clock. We're getting set to get afterway here. Fairview's starters going to be introduced, and then they'll turn off the lights and do the hype music for the hosts. And as we speak, I don't know if our cameras can get a shot of the youngsters starting to line up on the far side of the hangar. They form a giant tunnel that the starters run through. And they're starting to get set up and into that tunnel right now. These are future pilots, Skip. But they're anxious to be a part of the pregame any way they can. Now they're getting set to bring the lights down. And the mad dash to find a spot for all these grade school kids. Morgan Kiesler. He's going to start the seniors tonight, Scoop. So here come the starters. They were introducing the senior non-starters. Abel McGuire being introduced. Curious to see where she goes to college, Scoop. She was still thinking about going to Kent State and trying to walk on the track team.
Well, she's a special kind of athlete. We've seen that out here on the basketball floor. And again, one of those true competitors out there, works hard, is very gifted, but she doesn't take that for granted. She goes out there and tries to get better each and every day. Certainly has been a key cog in this pilot team that's already put up 20 wins this season.
They do pick good warm-up music here. Little thunderstruck by AC/DC. Walls aren't quite shaken, but they're close. You know what I've told you about when I'm home and listen to this song, don't you?
Well, not only do you listen to it, but your neighbors do as well.
Yes, they do. They have no choice. All right, center circle. These are going to be future teammates, if I'm not mistaken, at Ohio Northern. Oh, check that. That's Haley Hammer. It's Kreitz in the center circle, and Kraft for the Pilots. And after a bit of a scrum, Ayersville comes away with it. Schindler will back it out in between the circles. Ayersville will start their half-court offense. McGuire showing some aggression into the paint, but releases the basketball. Out up top, Waldron will back it out. Nice job. Schindler was posting up, but she lost the basketball, and that'll be the first turnover of the ball game.
Tremendous hustle play by Kayla Mavis.
Oh, first block of the night. Kraft on Kreitz, and that's athlete on athlete. That's going to be a fun matchup to watch this evening. Right now, Waldron beyond the arc. Top of the key, and a quick three. Mannon can't find the range. Kreitz will bring it up. Despite being 6 foot, she will play facing the basket quite a bit. McGuire strips her from behind.
A good heads-up play by Belle McGuire there. Just as you practice it, you get from behind, you try to tip it ahead to a teammate. Second turnover here early.
From the baseline, Schindler thought about it. Kreitz coming out to identify her. McGuire up top, being chased by Singer. Kind of lazily working the ball around the perimeter, and Schindler will back it out. Not quite 2 minutes into the ball game. Oh, nice move. Wow, what a crossover, splitting a double team. Waldron couldn't quite finish, but there we go. Heads up on the other end, and what was the whistle here? Well, will the basket count? Mannon gets credit for the time being for the putback. And any idea what this convo is about?
No, head official Al Radlinsky brought all three officials together. Right now he gives a quick explanation to both benches.
Something said? Something done?
Nothing changes. You're going to get 2 points here on a nice putback by Mannon.
Okay. At first glance, there was nothing that should have, the play, I should say, warranted a whistle. So it had to have been something peripheral. Singer, nice turnaround. Boy, they're working the ball good. Singer puts the Apaches on the board. We're knotted up at 2.
That sometimes throws a wrench in your game plan. Singer comes in scoring just 2.9 points a contest. That time they sagged off her, but no hesitation. And she buries that baseline J.
Boy, Mannon thought about a three. Instead, she drives, and I believe this is going to go against Haley Hammer. Heads up play to make the pump fake and then draw the foul.
Yeah, tremendous dribble penetration that time by the senior Kirsten Mannon. That's what's going to be the key thing tonight, Brent. You know, how well they can get inside this Fairview defense. Fairview understands they have to stay in front of the Pilots. The Pilots, if they have a thaw in their game, it's their outside shooting. They have to try to force the Pilots over the top all night. That's not easy to do when you've got athletes that go to the rack. There's a good check out as
Mannon can't find the range on either.
Empty.
Yep. So back at the other end. Now McGuire is on Kreitz right now, and a little bit of a collision. So McGuire, the best on-ball defender, and it looks like despite giving up some height, she's going to stay with her. Inside, outside. Quick three launched from the far wing by Singer. Nothing doing. Offensive board. Did Kraft get a piece of that? Third time, not a charm. And Kraft sowing her oats a little bit. Waldron, they got a 3-on-1 if they want it, and thrown away. Oh, she slowed it down. You could see Coach Nicely stepping up and pointing downfield. They had a 3-on-1, but can't take advantage of it.
Yeah, both teams really hustling. Fairview that time looked like they're going to come to the turnover, but a lot of contact. No call, but Ayersville quickly throws it away. Fairview now trying to take their first lead.
Again, going to continue to launch from beyond the arc, and again, it's one and done. This time Schindler cleans up in the middle of the paint. McGuire, oh, one-handed pass. That's a beauty of a post-up by Mannon, and another foul.
Now that's a big-time entry pass from Bell McGuire once again to beat that Fairview defense. Again, no secret, the Pilots love to get points down low in the paint. Fairview wants to do all they can to limit those.
Mannon drains her first. I was going to say, she had really worked on her free throw shooting coming into tonight. She was 20 of 28 for 71%. She's 1 for 3 this evening, trying to make it 2 for 2 here. And she does. So bringing the ball up across. In the corner, that's going to be a long three for Hammer, and it skims off. Lokus boxing out on the weak side again. Schindler. McGuire, a little too fine a pass that time for Mannon, and that's an unforced turnover.
Yeah, that time, excellent transition defense by the Apaches, and they forced the third turnover on the host Pilots here tonight. We've not gone 4 minutes.
I was about to ask you what the turnovers were for both teams. This pace has been pretty quick, and there's Taylor Craft. All business, doesn't even smile. She goes, yep, I'm used to it.
Well, that's that matchup you've talked about, Brent. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch all evening long. And that time, Kreitz is going to get the advantage. She'll head to that charity stripe to shoot a pair.
Nice looking stroke.
Yeah, first one up and in. She's a 63% free throw shooter. Remember, coming in tonight, she's been there 180 times this season. Boy, she's a tough guard, likes to go downhill. And there she bottoms out the back half as well. And for the second time tonight, we're knotted up.
Not quite halfway through the first quarter. Schindler will surrender it as Kraft pops out. Look at how far they're playing off of her. Basically, Kreitz is just kind of clogging up the middle of the paint. McGuire thought about driving. Nice job by Singer to cut off the lanes. Loose ball. Schindler going to go baseline. Nice feed. Man, we saw this a week ago here, Scoop. Mannon moves so well without the basketball.
Yeah, and credit Schindler there that time. She went right at the teeth of that defense, was able to beat them off the dribble, and the Pilots getting points in the paint. Something's going to be huge here tonight.
Kreitz on the drive. McGuire staying with her. Quick footwork to cut off the baseline. She's got to surrender the ball. Hammer with a skip pass to the near corner. Singer thought about it. Nice job by Schindler to get out and identify. Into the high blocks. Fairview not panicking, being very patient. Quick hands by Mannon. Loose ball. What do we got? Jump ball to call. And trying to see which way the arrow points. It will be Ayersville basketball. First substitution of the evening. Waldron will take a seat on the bench. And checking in is number 11, Lainey Sheets. She has been a spark plug off the bench this season. Schindler, nice crossover. Kreitz, for being 6 foot, she really has good footwork. It's a lob pass down low to Schindler, who will back it out. Kraft with a rare post touch. Is she going to go to work? Tries to kick it back out. Deflected and stolen away by Kreitz. Up the court, here comes Hammer. A wraparound pass to nobody. Was that deflected? It was not. And that will be a Fairview turnover. And checking in immediately for Ayersville, Ariel Brown. Belle McGuire breathing heavy. She's spent a lot of energy, especially at the defensive end tonight.
Well, Brent, we talked about how prolific Taylor Craft is with block shots at nearly 5 a game. On the flip side, Kelly Kreitz, nearly that prolific with steals per game. She comes in with an average of 4 steals per game. She's had a couple here in this opening quarter.
Brown, 2 feet beyond the arc. Sheets serving the defense. Does she want a screen? Will she get a screen? She almost turns it over. Trying to track it down. Mannon, nice job to save it in the far corner. Schindler gets a low post turnover. Kraft was cutting to the basket, and this will be an over and back. There's going to be a turnover one way or the other, Scoop, but you don't want to give a breakaway layup.
Yeah, you want to make sure you pick that up. And if you're Fairview, you don't want to try to dive on that and maybe knock it out of bounds where Ayersville might get it back. But a heads-up play there by Singer. And that's the 5th Ayersville turnover here in the opening 6 minutes.
Kreitz, bullet pass, low blocks, and Kraft with another block. This time on Alexis Taylor. Out of bounds, Pilot basketball.
Well, that's at least 3 rejections here tonight for Taylor Kraft, the human eraser.
She makes it, okay, Paul Silas, she makes it look so easy, though. I mean, it's almost effortless.
Well, she's quick on her feet, but she's also quick with her hands. And with that,
well, if our camera guys can get a look at her, I mean, her arm length goes almost to her knees. She's got just a tremendous wingspan. It's partially what makes her such a great volleyball player. This ball is out of bounds, and the Ayersville coaching staff directing what they want for a baseline inbounds. Lobbing it out in between the circles. They're going to lay off Kraft. Mannon looking down low. Schindler trying to post up, but Kreitz is all over her. That was a forced pass and another turnover. Under 90 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Hammer surrenders the basketball. Singer now pops out, but Schindler will give her plenty of room. Taylor just going to let her kind of post up around the elbow area. From the baseline, Kreitz with a rare open look and maybe rush that shot just a bit. Low scoring, very defensive oriented ball game here in the first quarter. Schindler on the drive. Oh, what a crossover. Swatted away by Taylor. Breakaway layup. The only thing Kreitz won't do is dunk it as she finishes with the right hand.
Now, great job once again by Kreitz.
I want to see the turnovers and points off of turnovers at the end of the first quarter here, Scoop. This has got to be a high for both teams. And credit to both teams' defenses.
Yeah, both teams' defenses are that good, and I think the turnovers will kind of continue to mount. Maybe not the pace we're seeing right now.
With Schindler into the paint and draws the foul. I'm not sure who's going to pick this one up. There were 3 black jerseys over there. And it will go against number 50, Alexis Taylor. Well, I asked the Fairview team as they were watching the JV game, I said, who's your dog? And they were like, dog? And I said, your junkyard dog. Somebody that brings a hard hat and a lunch pail to work, will dive, will get physical, will basically do whatever the dirty work is needed. And they all said, yeah, that'd be Alexis. And I looked at her because she didn't say anything, and she kind of blushed, and she goes, yeah, that'd be me.
Well, she's such a spark coming off the bench. She averages over 6 points, 4.5 rebounds a game, also shoots 52% from the floor, and also is the Apaches' leading offensive rebounder. So she really brings a lot to the table at both ends.
Schindler drains 1 of 2 for a 1-point lead with under 20 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. Kreitz trying to post up. Right now on her hip is Brown. Reversing the ball around the perimeter. 6 seconds to work with. Bounce pass to Kreitz in the low block. She goes to work. Off the glass too hard, and we have come to the first 8 minutes of play. Defense ruling the roost through the first quarter. Host Pilots 7, Guest Apaches 6. We'll take a quick timeout, a First Insurance Group timeout. We're back with quarter number 2 right after this. You're watching DCTV Sports. Buzzer sounds at the hangar. Second 8 minutes put up on the scoreboard clock. We welcome you back. Brent Albanon alongside Scoop Miller. Low-scoring affair. Let's take a look at your Mark Moats Ford stats summary. I've got points. Kirsten Mannon did most of the work, almost all of it offensively for the Pilots. She's got 6 of their 7 points. Allie Schindler 1 of 2 from the free throw line. On the flip side, Kelly Kreitz with a pair of free throws and a basket from the floor. Bethany Singer with the only other score for Fairview. How about turnovers and points off turnovers? Because the story of that first 8 minutes was the defense, Scoop.
Well, you're right, and a lot of turnovers for both
sides.
sides.
Oh, my goodness,
wow.
Crap took a shot to the mouth. She may be bleeding. She gets back up. She got a tooth loose. She's checking to make sure all pearly whites are there. We've got a quick timeout. I'm not sure if she wears a mouth guard or not, but oh my goodness, did she take a shoulder to the mouth, and she might be wiggling a loose tooth right now in that Ayersville huddle.
Yeah, that was a shot. Nice to see both players get up after that, but boy, that's going to hurt a little bit. Let's hope everything's still intact.
That Miss
like
America smile
right.
looks like it's still good. She's okay. Her moneymaker's still good. What do you have for turnovers and points off of turnovers there, Skip?
Well, in the first 8 minutes, Fairview turned the ball over 4 times. That led to 4 Ayersville points. On the flip side, the Pilots had 7 turnovers, which equaled the points they scored, and Fairview scored 4 of their 6 points off of those turnovers.
Wow.
So the defenses really were the best offenses in that opening 8 minutes.
Just underway here, second quarter. Boy, taking and initiating some contact. Waldron gets to the iron. McGuire with a board. Tried a little bit of a circus shot. We've got a whistle.
That's a tremendous play by Mabel McGuire. You know, it's not going to show up in the stats anywhere, but she did a great job of fight position on that backside. Was able to draw the contact, going for that rebound.
McGuire will inbound right back to Kraft. That is a heads-up play by both those seniors.
Tremendous execution there on the baseline out of bounds. One of the few times tonight we've seen points really from the offense, albeit the baseline out of bounds offense, they'll take it.
I'll tell you what, Kraft is an excellent passer for being a post. She averages nearly 3 assists per game. And there's the quick hands of McGuire on Creets. And what do we got here, a foul or a jump ball? Looks like we're going to have a foul. And it's going against McGuire. And I'll bet you $10 that Coach Nicely doesn't mind that one bit.
That's a great foul. That saved an easy deuce there for Kelly Kreitz. They'd much rather have the Apaches take out of bounds.
Kreitz sets a screen, bounce pass, inside, outside, long 3. Give Kreitz an assist. Haley Hammer with a big three-point shot, a Premier Bank three-point shot.
Well, that was the premier execution there on offense by Fairview. They got the good touch inside to Kreitz. She immediately went inside out, and Hammer buries that Premier Bank 3.
Well, McGuire trying to thread a needle into the middle of the paint. Schindler's turnaround J no good. Kraft with the board, kicks it out. Waldron going you-know-what for leather. Lays it up and in. Kendra Waldron.
She's so quick, and here's a 3 on the other side. It's going to bang out, and who else but Kraft there to pull down the rebound.
Continuing to clean the glass, and now Schindler will slow it down. Half-court offense goes into motion. Kraft. They're really going to hold on to it right now. They're daring Kraft to shoot, and Kraft maybe still a little surly after getting the tooth knocked loose. But Kreitz is just saying, go ahead and shoot, and that's a dangerous pass to Fine. It's out of bounds off of Schindler's fingertips. All right, so what's the counter offensively there for Ayersville? What would you instruct your team to do there? Because basically, Kreitz is almost playing kind of a one-woman zone in the middle of the paint.
Yeah, I think you have to get inside against her, so I think you have to make her play defense inside. They're more than happy to let Kraft have the basketball 20 feet from the hoop.
Out of bounds. Kreitz thought she got a push. She stepped out of bounds. So you're saying post Kraft up then?
I think you have to occupy Kelly Kreitz. She's too good defensively to let roam in the middle of that paint because she anticipates so well. She's got great length, great quickness. So you need to get her engaged down that low post, and then maybe, go to that opposite side where you might have a mismatch with her on the backside.
And speaking of posting up in the high block, she draws a double team. McGuire, couple of dribbles, lots of congestion in the lane. Mannon cut off on the baseline. Nice footwork by Hammer. And ball out of bounds, we got a whistle.
Yeah, we have a whistle, and it looks like that's going to be Caleb Mavis. He's going to get whistled for the foul on the shot, so that'll put Allie Schindler to the charity stripe. Right now, the biggest lead of the night's been 3 at 9-6 Pilots. Right here, they can equal it.
Schindler drains her first. She's a 72% free throw shooter. Trying to make it 100% this trip to the line. Takes her time. That's one of the things I like about her. No rush. You got 10 seconds, use them. She's pure on her second.
So right now, the largest lead of the game, also the largest run of the game. 4 straight points here for the Pilots.
Again, McGuire on Kreitz. This is an interesting defensive matchup. On the drive, ball swatted away from behind. Waldron almost picked it up. Hammer releases it. Well, the perimeter passing for Fairview has been pretty good. The ball doesn't stick much. Kreitz inside, outside. I mean, look at this. It's moving. And if you aren't a Pilot defender and doing the same thing, you could be in trouble. Ball is kicked off of Kraft's foot. At the same time, the Pilots are moving, and they aren't getting very many looks.
Yeah, spacing is going to be so important here for Fairview. They've got to try to find a way to spread out Ayersville and then get those one-on-one looks in the paint.
Madison Sharp coming off the bench. She will spell Kayla Mavis. Open for 3, unchecked. A long one leads to a rebound from McGuire. Hammer just a bit short. Ayersville looking to extend their largest lead of the ball game right now. Just 4 points. McGuire pops out. Kraft sets a nice screen. McGuire stops and pops. Gets the friendly roll.
My goodness, that was the old rainbow shot.
Yep.
It hit the heel of the rim, but had the friendly shooter's touch.
That ball brought Dew down with it. When you talk about shooter's touch, she'll tell you, yep, I do it all the time.
And that now makes this a 6-0 Pilot run after the 3 ball by Haley Hammer early in this second quarter.
Oh, they cut Haley Hammer back door and missed her, and the ball out of bounds. It will remain Fairview possession. Kreitz will be the trigger woman. Kreitz is used to physical play. Story to tell you about her and Coach Zedek at the next stoppage of play. They'll reverse it near side. Singer finds Kreitz on the drive. Pump fake. Leans in against Kraft. That time Kraft bought the pump fake. That's her second foul, and Kreitz will head to the charity stripe to try and complete the 3-point play.
Well, that's great offense right there. Get it to your All-Ohio player, Kelly Kreitz there. Let her do her thing one-on-one. And I love the little shot fake, little pump fake to try to get Kraft out of position. And now Kreitz will go for the N1. She has 6 points on the night. She's 2 for 2 from the stripe, looking for her 7th point. Gonna rim out.
Yep, 63% on the season, but can't complete here, and the lead remains 4. Schindler in between the circles. McGuire on the drive, running one-hander just a bit short, and I think that might have bounced off of Fairview. Or are they gonna say touched last by Ayersville? Yep. McGuire being exceptionally aggressive on the offensive side so far tonight. She's already at her average per game. Just under the 3-minute mark here in the first half. On the drive, boy, Waldron is just, it's so fun to come to practice, Scoop, because when they run suicides, Apaches, wind sprints, whatever your coach might have called them, she literally leaves everyone in her wake. And I'm not talking by just like 5 or 6 steps. We're talking like half a court or more. She's incredibly quick. Speaking of quick, here comes Schindler. Anybody going to pick her up? Nice dish at the end to Mannon, who finishes the fun.
Oh, great transition look that time by the Pilots after they deny Kreitz inside.
Nice feed to Taylor down low, but she couldn't quite get the handle. Open three, halfway down it kicks out. Taylor with the board, and as she fouled from behind, boy, McGuire looked upset. We'll see if that is on her. It is, and that's the senior point guard's second.
That's really not a bad foul because Alexis Taylor was going to put that up and in there. She had a great opportunity there from ground zero. Instead, just a third Pilot foul this second quarter. They still have one more to give.
Lobbing it out, Hammer releases it. They go right back down low to Taylor. Turnaround Jay. That's good defense by Schindler, who takes a little bit of a love tap. Whoa, and she and McGuire get into it. It's getting physical. Three-pointer by Waldron in the near corner. They don't take many of them. And that is out of bounds off of Fairview. Well, we got a substitution for the Pilots. Brown will check in. McGuire will check out. Oh,
they are letting them play. There were some major contacts at the other end. They've let go pretty consistently.
You don't think first place in the conference is on the line this evening? It is intense. Waldron will surrender it. And Ayersville's going to slow it down. Is this a 2-3 zone? Or is it just a sagging man?
Man-to-man sagging off.
He's trying to see if the ball would drop below the free throw line, but now it looks like they're chasing cutters. Schindler working against Kreitz. Boy, Ayersville's really taking the air out of the ball here. Nice flash to the high block. Schindler releases. Up top, Brown on the drive, went underneath. Oh, Waldron with a nice board, and Mannon trying to go up strong. She draws the foul. Kirsten Mannon, it's almost like reaching into a winter coat and forgetting you left a $10 bill there. It's like, whoa, where did this come from? Mannon kind of reminds me of that. It's on magic. When she's on the floor, it's like, where did she just appear from? She moves so well without the basketball. She drains her first free throw.
Yeah, she's really been a backbreaker here for Fairview in this opening half. And again, just by those hustle plays, you know, that time she comes up with an offensive rebound, connects 2 for 2 from the charity stripe.
She's 4 for 6 tonight.
Right now, Pilots on a 10-2 run in the last 6 minutes.
Boy, a quick shot. Kreitz with a long three, and the board kicks out into the near corner to Sheets. And Schindler will walk it up the middle of the court as we're now under 1 minute left to go in the half. Pilots trying to add to their already largest lead of the game. They're up by 8. Well, that was tough on-ball defense by Aubrey Hammer. A little stop and go by Sheets. Nice move to the basket. Mannon couldn't quite come away with it. Look at Waldron split a double team. We've seen her do that twice tonight. Everything but finish. Here comes Hammer at the other end, and wow, it is physical.
Yeah, that's borderline intentional foul right there. I mean, a hustle play, getting back by Mannon. And that's going to be a huge break for the Pilots. In fact, they ruled that on the floor, so Fairview will take it out, trailing by 8. Need to get a little boost here against a 2-3 zone defense here, the Pilots. We'll make that a box and one defense.
I was going to say. Bounce pass, Kreitz in the high block. Schindler's right on her hip. This is going to be another long three. And swatted away. Mannon with the block on Taylor. Scrum. Bodies flying everywhere. 5 seconds left to go. We had a whistle, and Waldron was salivating for what would have been an easy lay-in.
Wow, that would have really brought the crowd to its feet here at the end of half. Instead, it's going to be the 4th team foul against Fairview, so the Apaches get a break. But the Pilots still with 4.7 to work with.
It's a second on Haley Hammer. Waldron, they got to move. One, will she get a shot off at the buzzer? Contact, no call, and that couldn't sum up the first 16 minutes any better. Physical ball game. The host Pilots will take an 8-point lead into their respective locker room. Ayersville 19, Fairview 11. We'll take a quick timeout. We are back with your Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show. You're watching DCTV Sports. Back at the hangar, the gymnasium at Ayersville High School Gymnasium. Huge matchup in the Green Meadows Conference, the top two teams. The only question is, will there be a share of the regular season title, or will there be one all-out solo champion? If the Pilots have their way, the hosts will hang on to remain unblemished and keep it all to themselves. The Apaches, a little bit of work to do as they trail by 8 to try and earn a share of it. Brent Palbadon alongside Scoop Miller welcoming you back. Let's take a look at your Mark Moats Ford stat summary. I'll start with points and fouls. Scoop has turnovers and points off of turnovers. Let's start with the hosts, and leading the charge, Kirsten Mannon. Have yourself a ball game. Kirsten Mannon, the 5'8 senior, averages 7 points per contest. She's already got 10 at the half, and that includes 4 for 4 from the free throw line. After that, Mabel McGuire has already hit her per-game average. She's got 4 points. Kendra Waldron has made a couple of fantastic moves to the basket. She just hasn't been able to finish. She's got 1. And Allie Schindler, 3 of 4 from the charity stripe. Again, Schindler, the leading scorer on the Pilots roster at 13.5 per ball game. On the flip side, for head coach Russell Zedick and the Apaches, it's Kelly Kreitz. Kreitz with 6 points. That is well below, though, her average of nearly 20 per ball game, and not the least of which being guarded by, I think, at least once in the first half by every white jersey on the floor. They put Mabel McGuire on her to start, but she is drawing a host of Pilots no matter where she's at on the floor. A 3 for Haley Hammer in the second quarter, and 2 for Bethany Singer. That rounds out the scoring. What have you got for us, Scoop?
Well, turnover-wise in that second quarter, both teams really cleaned things up. Each team turned it over just one time that second 8 minutes. Neither team was able to score off those turnovers. But the thing I think you have to consider, though, Brent, Ayersville has scored so much from their defense. Not all of it's been turnovers. How many times we've seen a blocked Fairview shot that's led to a transition look for the Pilots at the other end. And that's really more or less been the difference here, as the Pilots enjoy that 19-11 lead here at the break.
All right, so let's play virtual coach. Let's go to the locker room first for the Apaches and Russell Zedick. What are you telling your team right now? What adjustments are you looking to make in the second half?
Well, I think first they have to really emphasize ball movement on offense. And there's a lot incorporated with that. You know, first of all, you need good floor spacing. But probably the most important part of that is you need to start ball faking. This is a very aggressive Ayersville team that's got athletes, it's got quickness. They will honor those ball fakes, but you have to fake them to get them out of position, get a reversal, and then go inside to Kelly Kreitz, to Alexis Taylor, where you're going to have a good opportunity to go inside out, make some things happen. But again, that Ayersville defense has really taken Fairview out of their half-court game.
On the flip side, if you're Tim Nicely for the Pilots, you've got an 8-point lead. You're not going to sit on it, and I know you're certainly not going to feel comfortable until that final buzzer sounds, but is it just more of the same, or do you look to make any adjustments on that end?
Well, they need to keep the adjustments they made after that first quarter, and that was that they were just too sloppy with the basketball. I like how they're looking to get transition opportunities. They need to continue that, but when the transition isn't there, you don't need to force it. You don't need to play like there's a 24-second clock. Just kind of be patient. We saw that in the second quarter, and it paid dividends. It opened up some driving avenues for Kirsten Mannon. It opened up some opportunities for Schindler to go inside out. So they need to continue that if they want to continue that barrage where they outscored Fairview 12-5 in that second quarter.
We're going to take a quick timeout. That is your Mark Moats Ford stat summary. We're back with more of the Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show. Pilots leading by 8 at the intermission. You're watching DCTV Sports. We welcome you back. Hold tight here, Carter. Matter of fact, we should throw this guy on with a headset. I was going to say, all he did, what was it, 23 and 14 last week, I think is what we unofficially had you for. Oh, we had you for 23, so we got the points right. We'll go with this guy right here. He's been around the block so many times. So here's my question. Throw that headset on him here, Scoop. Carter Michael coming up and joining us a little bit. We still got about 3 minutes to go as we work through our Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show. I want to make sure that I did get that right. Looking down here, let's see. Yeah, I had him for 23 that night, Scoop, and we're thinking that's the right call, right?
He had a big night, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
He was certainly toying with a double-double, to say the
Until he
least.
fouled out with about 3.5 minutes left to go. That was a tough game.
Yeah.
But there's still plenty of time left. Matter of fact, you still got a couple more games on the schedule. You now know what your playoff brackets are going to be like.
Yep.
Where's this team at right now? How much better can you still get in the next couple weeks?
You know, we just won back-to-back this weekend after that tough 5-game stretch, losing 5 straight by less than double digits. But, you know, we think we're peaking at the right time. We feel stronger after that 5-game stretch. We felt we were getting better every time. It's just we couldn't finish. I think we finally found out a way to finish games, and we're just happy to get back and keep playing until tournament. We got 3 games left until tournament, then we got Holgate at home. So
here's my question for you, because once you hit the first round of the playoffs, they always use the coach's phrase, it's a cliche, everybody's 0-0.
Yep.
But really, I had a coach tell me once this decades ago, it's about, do you want to continue to play?
Yep.
Do you want to wear the jersey one more time? How hungry is this team going to be come the start of the postseason?
You know, especially we got 6 seniors that we don't want to be done yet. We've been playing together since 3rd grade, and we just love playing together, and we don't want to be done yet. So we hungrier than almost anyone.
And also, you guys have gone through some tough stretches. I think Britt kind of alluded to that, but the fact that, you know, you guys have been in the thick of things. You have really rarely gotten blown out. You've had some games that maybe got away from you late. You didn't finish. But with a senior squad, you know, you guys have stayed with it. Those types of experiences can pay dividends, I think, down the road, because a lot of these teams have not had to go 32 minutes like you guys. What are your thoughts on all those tight games you've had at this juncture?
You know, we've definitely been through a lot of adversity this year, but I feel like it's just made us stronger. You know, we've been in tough games the whole year, and we just feel like that once that tough game comes to tournament, because everybody knows it's coming, that we'll be ready.
All right, we'll be watching.
All right,
we may even be here in this gymnasium and enjoy that well-deserved.
Thank
well-deserved.
you.
Very well-deserved, no question.
Absolutely. We'll see what he's got in, because 23 and 14 is an awfully high mark to pass. All smiles. I swear he never has a bad moment. Such a good-natured young man. How could you not want him on your team? Final 15 seconds ticking off the clock. We're getting set for second half action. 19-11, host Pilots leading the visiting Apaches. For the Pilots, a win And you're talking about sole possession of the GMC championship, regular season championship. And if you are Fairview, a win, you get to share it. Waldron popping to the corner. Oh, nice feed. Mannon working her way down low. That ball was partially blocked. Kraft tracks it down. Schindler on the move. Can't quite get the range. Boy, look at Kreitz in the open court, 6 foot and so smooth with the ball. And there's the height advantage down low. And in the open court, that's awfully tough to stop.
Yeah, that's easier said than done, trying to stop Kelly Kreitz there in the open floor. But once she gets that rebound, you better run somebody after her because she can beat you off the dribbles. We saw right there. Great start for the Apaches.
High blocks, Kraft back out to McGuire. 1 foot inside the arc, halfway down it kicks out. And a jump ball, yes. Schindler is going to tie up Mavis. It will remain with the Apaches.
With this 1-2-2 defense that Fairview has shown here in the third quarter, Ayersville has gone after some offensive rebounds, had a couple opportunities. That's going to be a concern here, but if Fairview can rebound out of this, they can quickly move back into this contest.
Bounce pass down low, Kraft. Boy, that was a wraparound, long way to go. And there's another turnover. Schindler with quick hands. Well, Waldron's still hearing it after shooting an air ball on a 3, but I tell you what, if there is a mentally tough kid on this roster, and there's 5 of them, but she's just as strong as any of them, it's not going to bother her one bit. Mannon beyond the arc, Schindler posting up in the low blocks. Kraft will roll. Well, that was a dangerous pass. Mannon for 3 near corner, off the mark. Schindler tried to tap it out to her. Tie up again, and this time it will be Ayersville's possession.
Yeah, Fairview continues to struggle getting defensive rebounds out of this zone defense, but credit Ayersville. They're doing a great job of going after those offensive rebounds. They're sending 4 to the offensive glass right now.
Lob pass, that's dangerous. Off the noggin of Waldron. She appears to be okay. What did I tell you, she's mentally tough?
Yeah, she's not phased at all. And
nope.
Ayersville very fortunate. That ball bounced right to another pilot.
Look at this, Schindler for 3. Short off the iron. Waldron with the board. Bounce pass to McGuire, and she's fouled on the way down. She had a little help.
Yeah, that's the 4th offensive rebound here in the third quarter. So again, I like how Fairview staying in front, forcing Ayersville to shoot over the top. Remember, Ayersville just a 13% three-point shooting team on the season, so they're forcing a deep shot.
Waldron on the drive. It's all or nothing. Yeah, give her something. Her 12th point of the ball game. Wow. Just wow.
Tremendous job there by Mannon. They've had no answer for her defensively.
On the drive, and she kept her pivot foot. That was heads up by Kreitz. Nice ball movement. They'll kick it out. This is going to be a 3 for Hammer. Off the heel of the iron, and it's out of bounds. And she looks skyward, wondering what she's got to do to get a basket.
Yeah, right now Fairview has to break the ice down there. They've had some good looks there for the perimeter. Other than that Haley Hammer 3 ball early in that second quarter, they've really got nothing to drop from deep.
Waldron, I think, taking a little good-natured ribbing from assistant coach Jason nicely. Got that ball going off her forehead. She's a tremendous softball player, Scoop. Her mom, I understand, could have gone onwards and upwards. I'm looking forward to calling a few of their games this season as McGuire, not once but twice, but got rejected on the second opportunity.
Right now, you just got to let Kreitz do her thing, and that time she draws the contact.
A little frustration foul, too. Maybe she's just picked up her 3rd.
Now, that's big. They need to keep attacking, especially if McGuire is going to be locked in on Kreitz.
I'm checking the bench right now to see if they're going to sub, and it looks like they are. Ariel Brown about to check in at the next stoppage of play.
On the out of bounds, Ayersville's gone to a 2-3 here.
Boy, launching one up from the near corner. Long shots mean long boards, but this one out of bounds in the corner. Brown checks in. My guess is Belle McGuire will catch a seat.
Yeah, McGuire has really been a big part of this game plan tonight, and she's done her part.
Yep. 21-13, just one basket each for both teams. Not quite halfway through the third quarter. High-low here. Schindler posting up on the low blocks. She's got Taylor on her hip, and now they'll cut her through. Kraft in the high blocks, kicking it out. This is where Schindler, I think, could take advantage of it. But doesn't want to take her off the dribble. Now she will. Nice bounce pass. Great slip by Kraft, and she'll head to the free throw line.
Tremendous set again there by the Pilots. And give Allie Schindler all kinds of credit. You just could not guard her one-on-one.
No.
She drew the extra defender, and then she drops a dime there. And Kraft on the rim run gets fouled, and she hits the first of two. And right now, the lead at the high water mark here for the host Pilots.
Kraft, 1 of 2. That's pretty much her season average. Boy, wide open from the elbow. Good look by Taylor, but it kicks out. But look who gets the board. Look at the spin move. Junkyard Dog couldn't finish with the baby hook shot.
And credit Ayersville, they're getting all those defensive rebounds, keeping the Apaches, for the most part, one and done, even though Taylor got it 2 for a quarter that time.
Nice slip again by Kraft. Lots of contact from a rear end, or is this going to be a jump ball? It is.
A great job closing down that time by Kelly Kreitz as Ayersville tried to make that entry pass into the low post. She anticipated it well. But right now, Fairview just one run away from being right in the thick of things.
Kreitz, oh, what a move. Crosses over. Inside, outside. Hammer right back down low. Taylor can't find the range. Kreitz with the board. Pump fake, leans in. That ball didn't have a prayer. She was looking for contact, and that's exactly what she got.
Yeah, just a very cerebral play by Kelly Kreitz.
Yep.
She got the ball down there at ground zero. And even though she had the tree upon her, she did a great job of just kind of initiating the contact, protecting the basketball, drawing the foul, and now she'll head to the stripe. First one up and in. She's now up to 9 points, well below her season average, and Ayersville really has made her work for about everything. She's got most of her points, I think, at the stripe. And now she has 10 and she goes 2 for 2. And they're hanging around, down by just 7 here.
Well, she's 4 of 5 from the stripe, Scoop. I mean, for being a big, she has a very good touch.
And we talked about how she gets here nearly 10 times a game, so certainly no stranger to the stripe.
And are they back into a man here, or is this?
Man-to-man.
Yep, it is. Kraft drop step into the paint, showing some aggression. She draws the foul. Take your pick. And this one's going to go against Bethany Singer, her second. Waldron will check back in for Ayersville. Brown will grab a seat on the bench. Just under 3 minutes left to go here, third quarter.
Some great minutes right there from Ariel Brown there coming in and doing a great job at the defensive end.
Kreitz coming out on Schindler, and as expected, Kraft won't have anybody on her. Nice cut by Waldron, and this time she gets the friendly roll.
She's so active without the basketball. That time she's able to break it down. Here's a quick answer
Wow.
at the other end by
Aubrey
Aubrey Hammer,
Hammer.
the sophomore, who comes in averaging 11 points a game. Those are their first points tonight.
That was a sweet-looking
They would
stop and
love
pop,
to see her
Jay.
get untracked.
Waldron coming off a screen. She might have taken an extra half a step.
Now we got a blocking foul. I think it's going to go on Kraft.
That'll be her third. So a little bit of foul trouble amongst the Ayersville starters. Kraft with 3, McGuire with 3. Brown will check back in for her, but the Pilot lineup just got much shorter.
Yeah, that was an obvious mistake right away, one you don't want to commit. It's just as good as a turnover.
Hammer on the drive, stops in the middle of the paint, and another foul. This one will go against Sheets.
Well, Aubrey Hammer trying to get untracked here. She was held scoreless the opening 20-plus minutes. But now she's heading to the charity stripe, tried to chip away at this 7-point deficit.
She is an excellent free throw shooter at 79%. She drains her first.
And certainly she was another strong volleyball player for that Apache team that won the GMC back in the fall.
2 of 2. As a matter of fact, half of the Apaches' points here in the third quarter have come from the free throw line. And almost another turnover, overplaying. Timeout being called by Russell Zedek, and they're going to get it. You wouldn't have expected anything less. They're coming out and now realizing we got to start playing hard, and they have done so, pulling to within 5. Timeout on the floor with 2:04 left to go third quarter. You're watching DCTV Sports. We are back. You're looking down at half court at the hangar. Ayersville High School Gymnasium, now under 2 minutes left to go third quarter. Kreitz, nice drive, nice feed, down low to Taylor, and one coming.
Wow, what a change momentum right here. What a big time play by Kelly Kreitz once again. Was able to take her girl off the dribble and then drops a dime there right through the heart of that Ayersville defense, and Alexis Taylor going for the N1.
55% free throw shooter gets the roll. Don't count him out just yet. It's now a one-possession ball game. Waldron looking down low, nothing doing as she puts it on the floor. Oh, dangerous skip pass, stolen away by Aubrey Hammer. 2 white jerseys get back. That ball is kicked out of bounds, and I think it's off of Hammer.
Boy, that's a huge break for the Pilots because that's the second steal that Aubrey Hammer's had in the last minute and a half.
Coach Nicely wants a timeout. He wants to calm his team down, get them on the same page. We will take a First Insurance Group timeout with them. 1:37 left to go third quarter. 24-22 Pilots. You're watching DCTV Sports. Minute 37 left to go here third quarter. Pilots once had a double-digit lead. It's now been trimmed to 2. Tim Nicely wanting to make sure his squad is on the same page for the final 90 seconds. Schindler working against Kreitz. Manning with a pick and roll, nothing doing. Waldron on the drive, boy, wraparound pass, that was dangerous. Schindler, nifty move, can't get the friendly roll, does have the board, contact, no call. Kreitz finally secures it. Boy, Tim Nicely wanted a foul, he is livid. Deflection at the other end, Waldron, Kreitz, right back, my goodness, give him some hockey sticks. Ball laid in by Taylor. We're tied at 24.
And right now, 11-2 run for the Apaches. This is our first tie since 9-9.
Sheets on the drive, and with the teardrop, the Ayersville fans finally with something to cheer about. Sheets, the first bench points of the night for the Pilots.
Huge answer right there, my goodness.
Hammer in between the circles, and I'm not sure what happened with her and Singer. The pass did look a little low, but Singer just lost the basketball.
And right now, look for Ayersville to try to maybe just air this out, play for the final shot. You've got a couple girls on the bench in foul difficulty.
You set something up for Allie Schindler here, or maybe Manning?
Yeah, you go to Schindler if you can.
Sheets says, I've got a good shot. Almost banked in a 15-footer. Loose ball, still playing scrum rugby with it, and jump ball the call. Schindler tied up Kreitz. Otherwise, that would have been an easy breakaway layup because Hammer was all alone in the front court.
Right now, a huge 3.9 coming up.
Both sets of players looking gassed, breathing very heavy. Nobody on the ball. Lob pass out to Manning with 3 seconds with a sophomore drive and blocking foul.
It looked like they ruled that on the shot. I can't believe it if that's true.
They're going to send her to the line.
My goodness.
That'll send the sophomore, Kendra Waldron, to the stripe.
That's a huge break. That whistle came awfully early.
Waldron, a 46% free throw shooter, pure on her first.
Great job by Waldron. Knew the clock was winding down.
Can she make it 2 for 2 as with 1/10 of a second left, Fairview's just going to go ahead and empty the lane. Now they'll leave a couple down there. You can't risk a tip in.
You have to put 2 down there, but there's not enough time to even tip one in.
Second is on the way, rattles in and out. She got her own board. She was thinking the same thing, but as it stands, it's a 3-point lead going into the 4th and final quarter. First place in the GMC on the line. Final 8 minutes when we come back to the hangar. You're watching DCTV Sports. And there you take a look at the crowd trying to check and see if they have the winning ticket on the 50-50 draw. Right now, you get the feeling this game is 50-50 going into the final 8 minutes. Pilots 27, Apaches 24. Single season GMC championship on the line. The Pilots won it all to themselves. The Apaches won a share of it. We welcome you back. DCTV Sports, Brent Palbinot alongside Scoop Miller. Let's take a quick peek at your Mark Moats Ford stat summary. I've got points in leading the charge. All players, Kirsten Manning with 12 for Ayersville. Drops off after that, Kendra Waldron with 5, 4 for Belle McGuire, 3 for Allie Schindler. Here's the steal by Schindler. 2-on-1, she's gonna go coast to coast and gets the kiss. Make that 5 for Allie Schindler. 2 points off the bench for Lainey Sheets, 1 of 2 for Taylor Kraft from the charity stripe. On the flip side, Kelly Kreitz averages 20 a game. She's got 10. She sees the ball go through her fingertips. Another steal by Schindler. Another break. She says, I want it all. Can't finish. Kraft with the follow, no good. A little too deep there, Scoop.
Oh, they had a great look. Consecutive steals and runouts. And now Fairview with the answer
My
at the other end.
goodness.
A great pass up ahead.
Look at this off the bench. Alexis Taylor with 7. She's the second leading scorer behind Kreitz. What do you got for turnovers there, Scoop, for both teams?
Well, in that third quarter, Fairview turned it over 3 times. It led to 2 points for the Pilots. Meanwhile, Ayersville had 5 turnovers that led to 4 points for the Apaches.
This is tipped, a deflection, another turnover. Oh, wow, one-handed catch by Hammer in stride. Up the court for 3, this one's counts, Haley Hammer.
Well, hammer to hammer. That's a play they drew up in the driveway, I'm sure, many times. Aubrey found senior sister Haley there. And boy, that 3 ball gives us our 6th tie of the game, our second here in this second half.
On the drive, a little too high off the square. Following, Manning with the putback.
She continues to be a force with 14 points. There's
What
a good rebound.
Look at Waldron. No holes barred here in the 4th quarter of the hangar.
Tremendous play by the sophomore Kendra Waldron. That time, Apaches got a quick shot transition, but instead of just watching the basketball, she got to check out, comes down with a big rebound. Now the Pilots have the basketball in that 2-point lead. 2 minutes into this final quarter.
Schindler keeping her dribble and a little too handsy that time. Fouls mounting. Ooh, frustration being shown by Bethany Singer. That's her 4th.
Yeah, those fouls you really don't want to mount up. Not just because it's your 4th, but that gets the Pilots to the bonus a lot quicker.
That ball deflected from behind by Hammer. Sheets was coming off a Kraft screen. McGuire will now inbound. McGuire with 3, Kraft with 3. You got to have your starters on the floor, though, here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you can't save them for tomorrow. You get the mileage out of them. And
Sheets on the drive, gets the roll.
Laney Sheets, the sophomore, has really come up big here in this second half and gets that runner to go.
Taylor surrenders it. Far wing. Boy, nifty looking jumper by Bethany Singer. She's got 4.
It's a senior play right there. You know, that's a gutty shot. You got things going against you. One of those tough shots from the corner, no hesitation at all.
Same play, isolation. Sheets off the Kraft screen, but misses. Thought she might have been better served to use the blast that time. And we've got a reach in. Is this Kraft?
I'm going to get Schindler that time on the backside coming in. That'll be her third.
Right. So 3 starters, each with 3 fouls. This is where you got to trust your seniors to play smart.
Well, no question about it. You know, this is they've been together how long? They've been in how many big games throughout the years? And again, I think you've got to get the mileage out of them when you're trying to run the table here for what would be their 6th ever GMC title.
Mannon set to check back in at the next stoppage of play for the Pilots. Far corner, McGuire, quick hand, strips Kreitz. 3 fouls, and she's still playing tight, handsy, in-your-face defense. Schindler will catch a blow. Mannon checks in. Lob pass, open for 3 at the top of the key. Hammer off the mark. Nice board by Kraft. Nice decision to slow it down and wait for a guard. McGuire into the paint. Bullet pass down low to Mannon, who missed the bunny. I think she felt pressure that wasn't there, Scoop.
Oh, McGuire threw a perfect pass there, cross court through the defense. I think they expected a little bit of contact. There was none.
Should have been a dime. Kreitz, bullet pass through the fingertips of Taylor. Turnover for a turnover.
Yeah, at that time, you know, Kylie Kreitz sometimes a little too unselfish. That time, you know, she was going to take a tough 6-foot shot, but take it. You've got Alexis Taylor there in the backside for perfect position. Instead, she tried to kind of throw a bullet through there.
She likes moving with her left. She's a predominantly left-handed player. Out up top, Waldron thought about a 3. Instead on the drive, Taylor with the rejection. Loose ball. Who's the foul on?
They might get Taylor in that. She had a tremendous block.
They are.
But then on the loose ball, they get her for a little push. And that'll be her 3rd foul.
Schindler in for Waldron. Both clubs just spending so much energy on this court here tonight.
Yeah, it's been so physical from the get-go as well. But not an easy game to officiate. Well, these guys have done a tremendous job.
Oh, great give and go. McGuire, your center feeding your point guard. It usually is the other way around.
Great vision that time by Kraft to spot the nice baseline cut.
Taylor, extra half step as she drove. And she knew it. You saw her go with the Cobra pose, her hands to her head. It's a 4-point lead, and Coach Zedek wants a timeout. 3:56 left to go in regulation. We'll take a First Insurance Group timeout with them. Pilots 35, Apaches 31. GMC Championship on the line when we come back on DCTV Sports. Three minutes and 56 seconds left in regulation. Welcome to the hangar. GMC regular season championship on the line. The host Pilots at 6-0 in conference play. Second place, Apaches at 5-1. What a ball game. It has lived up to its billing. McGuire stops and pops from the free throw line. Nothing doing. Mannon with a board, kicks it back out. And we're going to have a foul out near the arc. And you see Aubrey Hammer shake her head, but Usually when you're that far out, it's an easy call for the men in stripes.
Yeah, that time, loose ball there. Hammer did the right thing going in for it. One of those 50-50 balls, she got there maybe just on the tail end of it, thus gets whistled. That's her 4th foul.
She's got to be careful.
Coach Zedike's going to continue to roll the dice here with only 3.5 to go.
That was a dangerous pass. Kreitz almost with the steal. Ayersville fans wanted a foul. They have let him play tonight.
Well, they have. They've been very consistent. It's been a physical game, as we've mentioned.
Mannon on the drive. Cut off by Hammer. McGuire. No need for the Pilots to rush. You've got the lead and the ball. McGuire drives, trips. Oh, and she's fouled. A little bit of a look as she gets up at Singer, and if that's Singer, that's her 5th.
Yeah, that's going to be on Singer. That time, McGuire just decided he was going to make the official make a call. That time, a little bit out of control. But Singer gets whistled for her 5th foul. Coach Zedike certainly not happy with that call.
Nope. She will finish with 4 points, but she'll have to watch the final 3 minutes and 9 seconds from the bench as Belle McGuire will go to the charity stripe. A 49% free throw shooter. This is why you practice them late in practice, because look at her, breathing heavy. Are your legs quite the same? Probably not. Do your arms feel a little heavier? Probably. All got to focus in right now. Deep breath on the way. It's long.
Right now, if you're Fairview, you have to get position for the rebound. Ayersville has really done a great job on the offensive glass here this entire second half.
Second is on the way. It's good. 1 of 2. She's got 7 on the evening. It's a 5-point Pilot lead.
Right now, Fairview just needs an answer. It doesn't have to be a 3. They just want to get a score here, make this a 1-possession game.
On the drive, quick hands by Schindler. There's another turnover. It's a 2-on-1. Long pass up the court. Laid up and in by Sheets.
And there's points from the defense once again by the Pilots. They turn the turnover into points.
Boy, lots of contact there. Schindler sticking her nose in on everything. Little weave out in between the circles, and the Pilots just making life miserable for anybody up at the top of the key in an Apache uniform. And that's a foul. Sheets picks up her 2nd.
Yeah, just the 2nd team foul on the Pilots. They can continue to be ultra aggressive, doing a lot of reach in with the hands, but why not? You've got a couple to give yet, and you're still just with 2:28 to go. Right now, if you're Fairview, you just need to get a good offensive set here. You got plenty of time.
Kreitz, great crossover. Stops down low, forces it up, and oh my goodness. Wow, that's a tough call. Mabel McGuire can't believe it. Neither can the coaches. Neither can most of those in attendance here in the hangar. That's a tough call. Is that where Kreitz's height maybe bought her that call?
Well, no question about it. And the fact that, she's one of those marquee players. Again, she's got such a high basketball IQ. You talk about a shooter's touch. She gets every part of that and still gets it to go. But again, if you're Ayersville, McGuire had a similar situation at the other end that drew the 5th foul on Bethany Singer. So the officials have been consistent on it.
Kreitz's 2nd is up. Much better looking than the 1st. She's got 12. Still 8 below her average on the season. And that's going to be a foul in the open court. Kreitz maybe a little frustrated.
Yeah,
it's only her 2nd.
I just don't think you want to put Schindler to the line this soon. She's such a good free throw shooter. She comes in over 72% on the season. And again, just one of those seniors, you kind of want the ball in her hands in crunch time. Now she'll get a pair here.
She's made all but one tonight, and that one absolutely no rim. She's 4 for 5, looking to make it 5 for 6. And in doing so, give the Pilots a 7-point lead.
Fairview has to get the rebound if it's going to miss, but that's
none needed. None needed. Timeout. We'll take one as well. 2:13 left to go in the game. Pilots 40, Apaches 33. You're watching DCTV Sports. 2 minutes and 13 seconds left to go in regulation. Pilots 40, Apaches 33. 8th-ranked Ayersville looking to go 7-0 in the GMC and claim a championship all to themselves. Apaches are going to need a little bit of luck and some elbow grease in the next 2 minutes and 13 seconds if they want a shot at a share of the GMC.
Yeah, they're going to have to really get efficient on offense, and then they're going to have to make a couple plays at the defensive end. Trying to deny Fairview a chance to go back-to-back in the GMC, something the Apaches hadn't done since the 04-05 season.
Precious seconds ticking off the clock. Waldron on Kreitz. That ball is kicked out of bounds. In college, that would be a reset of the shot clock to 15 seconds. Talked to a lot of people that think it's coming at the high school level at some point in time.
It is coming.
Now under 2 minutes left to go. Bullet pass. Taylor didn't want the shot. Is this a 2-3 zone right now?
Yes, it is.
Kraft has Kreitz staying with her on the drive and the dish. Middle of the paint and banked in. First basket of the game for Madison Sharp, just when they needed it.
Big time play by the junior. Now the Apaches have to get a play here defensively. I like the fact that Schindler's handling the ball up top.
I was going to say, if you're Ayersville, well, I was going to say, do you shoot? Sheets drives, surrenders the basketball, now kicks it out. And that's a heads-up play by the sophomore Waldron.
That was, and Ayersville continues to dominate the offensive glass down here.
So now you know what they're doing, and that's hanging onto the basketball. At what point? There's my answer. Do you foul if you're Fairview?
Well, you have to right away. You know, as soon as you get an opportunity to foul someone other than, you certainly don't want to put Allie Schindler there. You don't want to put Mannon there. But you get a chance to, with someone else, I think you have to lengthen this game out.
Waldron was 1 for 2 prior to that. She's now 1 for 3.
Remember, she's just 46% on the season, so I like the fact they waited a few extra seconds until she got the ball, then they committed it.
Second is on the way. It's going to be short as well. So still light for Fairview, but they got to hustle. Deflected out of bounds. Who touched it last? Off of Fairview. They're going to say last to touch it was Aubrey Hammer.
Yeah, that's a great call. That time, Ayersville got the deflection, but it went off of Hammer.
Ayersville's got to get somebody into the back court. They're pressing, and now McGuire with a smart move. She kind of snuck in up the near sideline, and there's an immediate foul.
McGuire, a 49% free throw shooter on the season, so she'll get tested right here. But again, remember, there's no such thing as a one-on-one in high school basketball. So she will get 2 here. If she can hit both, it'll make this a 3-possession game with just 1:03 to go.
She's 1 for 2 tonight. She'll try and be 1 for 2 this trip. These just mean more. You seen the old Dan Patrick commercial? Free throws actually should be worth more in crunch time.
And Ayersville has a foul to give, so they can go hard at the offensive rebound right here, but no need to.
Makes the second.
Music.
She's got 8 on the evening. She averages 4. Fairview's got to hustle, and they've got to score. Must score possession. Kreitz with the spin, working against Schindler, and the official up top going to call her for her 4th.
They get that on the drive, so that's the last foul to give for Ayersville. Here on out, Fairview will be shooting 2.
54 and 3/10 seconds left. Kreitz being doubled down low up top. Quick reversal. Nice job. Kendra Waldron staying with her, and it still doesn't matter as Kreitz gets the friendly roll. She's got 14.
Tough.
And here comes full court pressure. Foul as expected. This one on Hammer, and it's going to send Sheets to the line.
Yeah, what a tough shot there by Kelly Kreitz. So that time Ayersville did all they could to force a tough shot.
And Hammer is just fouled out. She'll finish the night with 4 points. Well, here we go. Lainey Sheets, take your turn at the line. A 47% free throw shooter.
Yeah, this has not really been a strength of the Pirates this year. Just 56% as a team on the season. Unusual for a team that's 20-1 That tells you just how good that team is. They've been able to overcome some free throw shooting woes over the season. Well, there's a big one right there. Gets it to 5 points.
She's got 7, looking for 8. Yes, sir. Those were huge.
It was. It's still 2 possession, but now it's 2 3-point possessions.
And this ball deflected. Sheets up the court. McGuire, do you want to score? She's stripped from behind. I wasn't sure if she was going to dribble back out and milk clock, but that's really not her style.
But again, the defensive pressure by Ayersville has really turned it up. This second half, Fairview just has turned it over, especially in this fourth quarter. The turnovers have really mounted. That was the 5th Fairview turnover this fourth quarter.
First is on the way. Halfway down, it spits out in a look of frustration. Waldron out. Looking to see who your pilot 5 are. Schindler, Sheets, obviously McGuire at the free throw line. Kraft and Waldron, and Kraft with the board. She's going to lean in. Her first basket from the floor tonight. Couldn't have come at a better time.
Well, that time Kraft just made a hustle play there, going for that offensive rebound, was able to get Kreitz down under the rim.
That ball teases everybody on the heel of the iron. Still loose. Who wants it? Out of bounds. Ayersville basketball with 11 and 8/10 seconds left, and that may just be the final nail in the coffin.
Yeah, what a fourth quarter here by the host Pilots after really being tested in that third quarter by Fairview. Their defense has really come to life here down the stretch.
And look at this. I don't know if our camera crew can get a shot. The entire gymnasium of Pilot fans now coming to their feet. They're realizing that this championship is now 9 seconds away.
Yeah, this is really special because this GMC, as we all know, is really loaded from top to bottom, so to speak. So many teams really had aspirations coming in for a piece of the GMC this season when you got teams such as Tenora, Fairview, Antwerp, Wayne Trace. I mean, just too many good teams. Edgerton,
Waldron in, Schindler out,
loss.
and look what Coach Nicely's doing. He's subbing for his seniors. Schindler, who broke 1,000 career points last week. Kraft, who's going to play volleyball at Ohio Northern. Look at that. Shows some emotion, number 2. Belle McGuire. And now Waldron. Well-deserved, classy move by the coaching staff and a classy move by the fans to give the seniors a standing O.
Yeah, very classy move there by the fans. These seniors have really put in a lot of work to be named GMC champions and being able to run the table at 7-0.
Kreitz on the drive, loses the ball. Look at that. Sheets will hang on, and there is your championship. Pilots 47, Apaches 37. Ayersville 21-1 on the season, and even more importantly, a perfect 7-0 in the GMC. They are this season's conference champs.
Well, I think the best team won. You know, both these teams certainly great in their own rights, but what can you say about this season for Ayersville is they're able to not only win the GMC title for the second time in 3 years, but this time they run the table at a perfect 7-0. Last time the Pilots did that again was back in 2016, led by Molly Hammersmith and a tremendous crew.
You see the ladder coming out. It's time to cut down the nets.
And I think these fans are going to stick around and watch too. Wow, what a show they were put on to tonight by the Pilots, who were really put to the test by a very good Fairview Apache team that's had so much tradition in the GMC
Tip your cap
over the years.
to the Apaches. They made them earn it tonight.
Well, they did, and you knew they would. They're just too well coached. You know, Russ Zedike, you know, over 100 wins in 5 years there. What can you say about the numbers his teams continue to put up year in, year out?
We're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, the Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center postgame show. Final score from the hangar. Pilots 47, Apaches 37. Ayersville is this year's GMC champs. You're watching DCTV Sports. What do you do when you win a conference championship? You break out the stepladder and cut down the nets. We welcome you back to the hangar, Ayersville High School Gymnasium. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller. As we jump into our Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center post-game show, first things first, tip your cap to a more than worthy opponent. Second place, Fairview, at 5-1 in conference play and entering the night at 15-6, made the Pilots earn it this evening. It was not a runaway. It was anything but rollover. It was up until really probably about the final 4 minutes, but in those last 4 minutes, I look down here, Scoop, and again, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 trips to the free throw line, and that's where Ayersville was able to salt away a 47-37 victory.
Yeah, what a great win here for the Pilots. And, give Fairview a lot of credit, as you mentioned, Brent. They were trying to get a piece of their 16th ever GMC title, which those 15 championships they had lead the GMC, followed by Wayne Trace with 8. But I thought Ayersville had a little extra step in that fourth quarter, but some of that might have been due to the fact that Coach Nicely, to his credit, did a great job of this kid's got in foul trouble, benched them there in that third quarter. Fairview made that monstrous run. They didn't panic, but when they reinserted those girls in the fourth quarter, they seemed to have a little bit of step there on Fairview. And Fairview, as we've mentioned before the game, not a really deep team, and so those girls were kind of gassed. They credit Ayersville. They just turned it up a dial there, and they needed to because this Fairview team was doing all they could to try to bring that championship trophy back to Sherwood. Just not going to happen this year.
Let's run down your Mark Moats Ford stat summary. I've got points, and boy, did we get quite a few tonight, but none more than senior Kirsten Mannon. She had 10 at the half. She finishes with 14. The balance, though, all 5 starters in scoring, in the scoring column, but Lainey Sheets was actually the second highest scorer for the Pilots with 10 off the bench, including 4 for 4 from the free throw line in that fourth quarter. She had 8 of those 10 in about the last 4 minutes of this ball game.
Yeah, it was incredible what the sophomore was able to do, especially in crunch time there, getting the job done. And again, as you mentioned, Brent, an overall tremendous team effort by Ayersville.
There you go. Bring that cord off your mic there, Coach. It's dragging it down. Help him out there, Scoop. Now we'll be able to hear him.
About ready to cut the net down, so I might have to get down there.
Absolutely. Tell you what, if you want to do that,
Yeah.
come back up.
Okay, I'll do
We'll
that.
let you take – you only get this shot every once in a while, so do it while it's still fresh, Coach. All right, let's round out the scoring here. We mentioned Sheets with 10 off the bench. 8 points for Belle McGuire, the senior starting point guard. And how about the job she did defensively on 6-foot Kelly Kreitz. Kreitz averages 20 per ball game. They held her tonight to 14, but to put a 5'6" point guard on what in effect is a 6-foot center didn't phase her one bit. It was a team effort, but what a job by the senior point guard for the Pilots.
Yeah, she followed the game plan to a T, and I thought that was tremendous game plan coming in by Coach Tim Nicely. The fact that you're not going to shut down Kelly Kreitz, but you have to make her work. And boy, did Belle McGuire make her work for everything. It got her in some foul trouble.
Yes.
But again, that's part of being a team player. You do what it takes to put your team in a position to win down the stretch, and that's exactly what happened as the Pilots were able to hang on and survive.
Now you're looking at Jason Nicely, the son of head coach Tim Nicely, to cut off one thread, and I think the last man to do so, looks like our camera crew doing a good job, it will be Coach Tim Nicely, the head man to cut down the final strand of the net. And this place is going to go crazy as he waves it over his head, and the Pilot fans, one last whoop and holler to celebrate a GMC championship. Rounding out your scoring for the Pilots, Kendra Waldron, the sophomore, with 5. 7 points for Allie Schindler and 3 for Taylor Kraft. Just 1 basket from the floor, but none bigger than that offensive rebound on a missed free throw to pretty much put the final nail in Fairview's coffin.
Yeah, that was game, set, match. And we talked about Fairview really having a difficult time keeping Ayersville off the glass. Taylor Kraft there just made a tremendous senior play, was able to come up with 2 points there. And, boy, that just put it out of range.
Looks like our cameraman Will down there is going to get a great shot of what will be a postcard of the entire team. There are your champions for this season in the GMC. A memory to be made for everybody. And congratulations. On the flip side, 14 points for Kelly Kreitz. Nobody else was even close. A half a dozen for Haley Hammer, 4 apiece for Aubrey Hammer and Bethany Singer, who both fouled out. 7 points off the bench for Alexis Taylor, and 2 for Madison Sharp. And a good look. You can see our monitor there, the Pilots. My guess is they won't be going to bed anytime soon this evening. And we expect Coach Nicely to work his way back up here and join us, and it looks, being a man of class, that's exactly what he's going to do. And here he comes. Scoop, make sure that headset is ready for him this time. Got to help out the novice. He's a great basketball coach. We'll help him with the broadcast portion of things. That ladder was plenty sturdy enough.
I don't think you and your son even need to step on that ladder. You guys can reach up there.
I know he's about 4 or 5 inches taller than I am, so.
You take him to the apple orchard with you, don't you?
Yes, yeah, you get the higher apples.
Always get the high-end fruit. All right, first things first, and I know you would say this. You were talking to me about it prior to the game even tipping off. Tip your cap to a very worthy Fairview team tonight. They made you earn it.
Well, they're a very good team, well coached, and we knew it was going to be a dogfight from start to finish. And it was. We just made enough foul shots at the end to hold them off. But it was a great game for high school girls basketball, and what a great atmosphere, our fans, and it was just a perfect night. So.
You need a little water. You don't have much on those vocal cords right now. You talk about a true team win, though, Coach. We were just running down the scoring stats. Kirsten Manning with 14. Lainey Sheets is a spark plug every single game off the bench. But I'm looking at Belle McGuire doubles up her per-game average. And even on a night where Allie Schindler gets held to about half of what her offensive average is, how many turnovers did she force? Yes. She was as impressive, if not more, at the defensive end this evening.
Yeah, she just plays so hard on the defensive end. And we got a little bit of foul trouble there a little bit, but we kept out of that from getting that number 5. But, yeah, our kids just play great defense, and hopefully we'll keep it up in tournament and see how far we go.
And, Coach, I thought the game plan was tremendous, especially on the defensive side of things. It's always a difficult matchup when you're trying to slow down Kelly Kreitz and the cast she has. But tell us about some of those different wrinkles you kind of threw out to just try to slow them down, make them work for everything.
Well, we wanted to keep Kelly. We just told them at the beginning of the game, we can't let her have 28 to 30. We got to keep her under control. We did a great job there. We switched off a little bit, put Allie on her a little bit. Mabel had her. Ariel had her, so we switched off enough to give everybody a little bit of a break. But, yeah, if you guard Kelly Kreitz all game, you're going to be a tired young lady. She's just a phenomenal player.
They went what looks to be a box and one late in that first half against you. What adjustments were you making at halftime?
Well, we just told them at halftime we got to be a little smarter on the offensive end. We're trying to throw the ball through people's hands, and we had some silly turnovers that first quarter. We had 6 turnovers. I think we had 7 or 8 by half, but I don't know what we ended up with or what you guys had, but we had to keep it down because we told them our average is about 12, 13, and I said if we get up there to 15, 20 turnovers, we could be in trouble. So.
Yeah, and you talk about, you made some great adjustments after that first quarter. Things were really going your way, but then you knew Fairview would probably have a run in them. They did. Yeah. They got right back in it in the third quarter. What was the message there going into that final 8 minutes where it was anybody's ball game?
Well, we told them we got to, we're not going to shoot unless we have some wide open layups. And so take good shots, take care of the ball, be strong with the ball. And if we do that, we'll find, because we got them in a couple quick fouls. So we got to the foul line. We made enough to pull away.
I had you for 8 of 14 in the closing 2 minutes.
Yeah, that was huge. That was huge. And we played them here, like I said, 3 years ago here, and we beat them by 10. So 10's a magic number, I guess. So we'll keep it up. So
we will let you celebrate. I know there's still plenty. I don't think anybody's going to bed before 1 a.m. But when you put this in perspective, because I know there's still a lot of ball left to be played, you even mentioned it when you first threw on that headset, time to make a run in about a week here. Yes. How special can this group be? How far can they go?
Well, we're going to take one game at a time. We got Hicksville, and, we played them once earlier, and, we did pretty well against them. But tournament time, you never know. And then we got Edgerton, that Farnham girl. She's pretty good. And then we got, who knows, if we win that, could play Antwerp. They're a spark plug team too. So and then you got Crestview in the possible district finals. They're tougher than nails, but yeah, we got to take one game. We're going to focus on Hicksville. I told them again they have tomorrow off. Every time I tell them they got Friday off, they win. So we'll keep it up. So.
Well, I tell you what, before tomorrow off, just enjoy tonight.
Yes,
here in the moment.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Tim.
Thanks.
All smiles, and my guess is he'll go to sleep with that on his face as well. He'll wake up with it on his face. We'll take one last time out. When we come back, we've got one last piece of business to wrap up our Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center postgame and the Steichman Automotive Player of the Game. When we return, you're watching DCTV Sports. And we welcome you back at the hangar. You can hear probably over the PA, the team are now basically making their post-game, post-championship speeches to each other. The intricacies of being on a team, long bus rides, crazy, goofy stories from the locker room, all of that is part of the overall athletic experience. And of course, just a cherry on the top to review it when you can say you are a champion. And that's exactly what the Pilots can say now, going 21-1 on the season, 7-0 in the GMC, on the heels of a 47-37 victory over a very game Fairview squad. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller as the Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center post-game show. We're putting a wrap on it. We've got one last piece of unfinished business, though. Time to announce our Steichman Automotive Player of the Game. Scoop, you literally could say it was a team effort tonight, but we've got one to make a decision on, and Kirsten Mannon just had a tremendous contest.
She did, and they needed it, and she got that production right away. You could tell from the opening tip, she just had a little extra giddy up in that step here tonight, and her aggressiveness really kind of sprung things early. I thought for Ayersville, they never really had to play from behind, and boy, she throws 10 big points in the first half. I think she had 6 in that opening 8 minutes, and she had 6 in the first 7, in fact, for Ayersville tonight. But she was that straw that stirred the drink and then some. And again, total team effort tonight. But boy, that performance by Man tonight is one these folks are going to remember, I think, for a long time.
Senior Kirsten Mannon, share the pizza with your teammates, but at least take the first slice. Kirsten Mannon, our Steichman Automotive Player of the Game. That's going to do it for our broadcast here this evening. Scoop, we are not finished. I know you're not on board with us tomorrow night to wrap up the Defiance boys' home season, but we got plenty on our plate as far as the postseason is concerned, and that includes right back here for the opening round of the playoffs coming up in a little over a week. Get yourself healthy, sir.
Will do.
For Scoop Miller, I'm Brent Balbinot. A big thank you going out to our entire crew and you, the fan, for tuning in. Final score tonight, Ayersville 47, Fairview 37. The Pilots now 21-1 overall, 7-0 in conference play, and this year's Green Meadows Conference title. There'll be a banner hanging somewhere in the hangar come next season. That's going to do it for our coverage this evening. You've been watching DCTV Sports.